The other person part 2. After last night's text, my W didn't text me until tonight asking what was happening with our son tomorrow as the teachers are on strike. I asked her if she wanted to see him as my mom or my D would watch him. She said she did, so I agreed. There will be no housework or dog walking this time. She then texts saying that we must think about Christmas. I text back, son will be with me Christmas Day and he can be with you on Christmas night. She then texts back saying that D had suggested that she came for Christmas dinner. Well, I never expected her to mention that, even though she said it was D's suggestion. I text back, I do not think it would be a good idea, since it would give son the wrong signals, but she was welcome to see son on other days during the holidays. She texts back, I understand. I thought, at last, you are beginning to understand. I realized today that I was taking the correct stance. It would be so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that it's good to have her about the house doing things, but it is not. It would only be satisfying her needs, those needs she abandoned for her new life. In reality, it wouldn't help me and it certainly wouldn't help my kids. I feel much more in control of my life and more importantly, my kids are benefiting from me being in control of the situation. Work was good today, more involved than lately. Beginning to look at future projects. Thought about W's recent behavior. She is definitely missing the mundane chores she once probably disliked. I thought about her text last night, the one about Christmas Day. I still can't believe she suggested it. Not because she wasn't thinking about the effects such a proposition would have on our son, but that she showed a little bit of weakness. That is not her. Now, this is an important stage for those on the 180. Do not succumb to this apparent weakness. It may mean your spouse is having second thoughts. It may simply be a testing of the water, but it also may mean absolutely nothing. Remember, your spouse is in Neverland and may not be making sense. You must continue to concentrate on yourself, make the changes needed to adapt to your new life, and if you have kids, their lives. At this point, you are probably still the only one in your relationship who is thinking straight. Keep it that way. NC from W since the Christmas text. The thing is, this will be the first time in her life my W has had to stand on her own 2 feet. When I think about it, she has never taken responsibility for any of her actions. Well, now she is out in the big, wide world. She will have to take responsibility. I won't be there for her, fixing things. When I think back to our MC, our counselor said that my W's perception of the marriage was almost childlike. My W believed that she could behave badly, but I would still be there to fix it. When I think of the time when she had her EA, I felt that she told me about it. Not because she wanted to fix our marriage, but that she wanted me to fix her fantasy. Now that I've had a couple of weeks on my own, or is it 3, I have had time to reflect on her past behavior. If she were to phone me tonight, wanting to come home, the answer would be no. Now, I am not saying that I don't still love my W, because I do, and I am not saying that I would never have her back because I would, but I would need to think about it. A few weeks on her own is not enough time for her to see what the big world is really like, to learn to accept responsibility, to rid herself of this childlike outlook on life. The very least I would expect is some serious IC for my W and MC for both prior to any moving back. Whatever happens from this point forward and whoever that is with, I can guarantee you this. My life will not be as it has been. Not much to say today. Work was even better, starting to get back into things. W taking son to cinema tomorrow. Pleased about that. Eldest D had a night in tonight, which is as rare as a white Christmas in Australia. I really enjoyed our chat, which lasted over an hour. We mostly discussed Mum and what my Ds were thinking about. It turns out that my Ds were more aware of my past struggles with their mum than I thought. They are very proud of my attempts to keep our family together. I told my eldest D that Mum's behavior is because of her childhood and not to take it personally. I want my Ds to be close to their mum, but to also understand that Mum's past behavior is not normal. It is a result of her childhood. I am not protecting W, I am protecting D's. I asked D to keep in contact with Mum and to not let what is happening affect their relationship with Mum. I have always been a very positive person. I have needed to be. When a glass is somewhere in the middle, I don't see it as half empty. I don't see it as half full. I see it as full, just needing a top up, if that makes sense. I hope W is okay. I feel for her. I will survive this. I hope she does as well. When I dropped my son off today, I spoke with W for the first time in almost 3 weeks. We spoke mostly about finances and in particular our life insurances. She said that she couldn't afford to keep running her car. I thought, no crap, Sherlock. I said I know. They are expensive to run. I get the feeling that she is treading very carefully with her words, even though I am being very relaxed in my approach. She mentioned Christmas Day again. I said again that I didn't think it would be a good idea. She said that we can explain to my son that she is just coming for the day. I said, what happens if you keep coming around to the house in this way and in 6 months' time I meet someone else and you have to stop it? Our son will go through another separation. I said, that is not fair. She didn't respond. Why is she so desperate to come for Christmas Day? Is it because of me? No, she left me. Is it because of the kids? Maybe, but she also left them. Is it because she will be lonely on Christmas Day? Maybe, but that was her choice. What is she up to? The answer is still no. Son went to cinema and fast food with W but didn't want to stay the night at W's flat. You are absolutely spot on. I didn't know that had come across in my writing. My W was never one to share her feelings. With an insecure person such as my W, sharing feelings makes them vulnerable, open to hurt. I always felt that she never showed affection, so that when I did the inevitable, cheat on her, it wouldn't hurt as much. Unfortunately, this negative approach caused an emotional separation in our marriage, which in turn caused my W to state that she wanted someone to make her feel special. No one can make her feel special, she won't let them. A little more background on my W. Between the ages of 10 and 12, prior to her parents splitting up, her mother would say things such as, "Your dad is up at so-and-so's house having it away with his wife," and her dad would say things like, "Your mother's at work having an affair with so-and-so." After her parents split, they would try to use her as a messenger. Her dad would say things like, "How is the crap today?" Now, I am not making excuses for my W. It's not her fault she was dealt a bad hand, but it is her responsibility to play that hand as best she can. She didn't. She just accepted the bad hand and allowed it to govern her life. My D said to me today that she thought Mom was wanting to come home for Christmas because she wasn't happy. She thinks that Mom probably just wants to come home. I said to her that may be the case, but it also may not. I explained that Mom was used to me fixing things. I didn't go into the parent-child relationship, and perhaps she was just expecting me to fix Christmas Day for her. I also explained to D that if Mom wanted to come home, then Mom would need to drive that and not me. I said that Mom would need to learn that she can't up and leave as and when it suits. Otherwise we could be in the same position in a year's time. I told her not to build her hopes up, as Mom is going through a difficult time just now, and what we think Mom is thinking may not be the case. She has a mature head for an 18-year-old. Anyway, after many culinary successes lately, my pork casserole was a disaster today. Back to the drawing board on that one. Dog was happy though. I also think that any reconciliation would be dependent on IC for my W, followed or combined with MC for both of us. I am not perfect. One thing I am certain of is that I will not be living my life as I was prior to the separation. If that is without my W, then so be it. In fact, I have already begun the journey of improving my life. I have reconnected with my kids and I am enjoying that. My daughters and me are speaking to each other at a level we've never achieved before. They are even being civil to each other. Tonight, I started to remove the old storage heaters from the living room, and because of that my daughters did ironing, washing up, and took the dog for a walk. I think they too are learning something. I am also making decisions about household things, such as food, decor, and it is liberating. Things that would take weeks or months to decide, I am deciding in a couple of days. My W is more than welcome to join in with this new family bonding, but she can only do this by taking responsibility for her behaviors and doing something about it. The choice is hers. S is going to Mom's flat tomorrow and D's are going on Saturday night. Not much happening today. Son went to his mom's flat after school and returned tonight before I got in from work. I had filled an envelope full of school stuff that I had mostly dealt with, but we needed to see. One of the items was my son's concert, which is taking place next week, and you need to book your slot. The concert takes place on one day, but there are 2 shows. My son returned tonight and said, "Can you book Mom's slot?" I text W, saying I was going to afternoon show. I'm on holiday next week. And which one did she want? She texts back, "Evening." That suits me. She said he needed certain clothes. I told her that I would contact school tomorrow and sort out what was needed. Good day at work today. Had fun moving our intranet and SQL server from one domain to another. Lots of problems. I asked my D, 18, to get some boxes from her work today, so we could pack some of Mom's stuff, which is sitting in the living room. I needed it clear for my holiday at the end of this week. D texted her mom to say what was happening, and Mom said she would come and collect her stuff. A few hours passed and W had not appeared, so D texted her again. W texts back, saying that she would be there shortly. When she arrived, D asked her why she was so late. W said, because she didn't want the neighbors to see her taking stuff from the house, so she waited until it was dark. She said to D that she didn't want neighbors talking. D said that they already were. Nothing bad, just amazement. When my D told me this, I thought, wow, on the day my W left. I don't believe she was too concerned about what the neighbors thought. Her attitude has obviously changed. W then proceeded to text me 5 times asking about the new floor I was about to lay. Each time, I answered short and sweet. The temptation was there to ask her what the hell it had to do with her, but I am in a good place just now, so I was polite. W said RD has been good. I answered, no, she has been brilliant. All schools in the area are closed tomorrow at noon due to weather forecast, so W is coming to get S from school. My mum is going to my S's concert with me next week, which is good for my S and for my mum. Very good day at work. I went to phone my mom tonight and I normally just push the redial button. Kids seldom use main phone. And up pops a local number. I type it into Google and find out it is a local beauty salon. My W was here today to get my S from school and she has used my phone to book an appointment at a beauty salon. Do you think she is going there to improve her appearance for my benefit? I doubt it. No, this will be for that guy she wants to make her feel special. I am sorry, but I am not happy. Who the hell does she think she is? Coming into my home and using my phone to make such appointments. It may seem no big deal, but after what she has put me through, you would think that she would use a little bit of common sense. Imagine I had abandoned my family, telling my W that I had no feelings for her and that I wanted a woman to make me feel special. I then returned to her home and use her phone to make an appointment at a hair replacement clinic. It's the only thing I could think of. Do you think she would be happy? I doubt it. I picked up my mobile to text her what I thought of her, but I have posted here instead. Can she actually ever think of anyone but herself? I have a bit of a quandary regarding my eldest daughter. She came home tonight and told me that she is not happy about Mum using our phone and internet to look up beauty salons. She is adamant that Mum should not be treating this house as a second home. Somewhere to go when she needs something or she is lonely. I am very surprised by her grasp of the situation, and there's not much I can disagree with in what she is saying, but I asked her to not fall out with Mum over it. I told her that Mum has become used to me fixing things and it will take a little while until she realizes that I am no longer there for her. The quandary is that I understand what she is saying, but I do not want her to fight my battles. I also have to consider that she is probably not fighting my battles, but her own. She is after all a couple of years older than her mum was when she gave birth to her. I cannot believe how mature my daughters have been during this horrible time. Tonight, I have thought back to the births of my kids and how magical it was. I was at each one, and by the time my third one was born, my son, I considered myself a veteran. Those were very special occasions for me, very emotional and often tearful. I watched as each of our beautiful children entered this world. I was so proud of my W each time she went through the pain of labor and childbirth. On each of these occasions, the pride I had for my W was immeasurable. I loved her with all my heart. Words cannot truly describe how I felt about my one these occasions. Now that she wants a man to make her feel special, I can only assume that she was deaf, dumb and blind during these wonderful occasions. She could not have found a man anywhere on this planet who could have made her feel more special than I did. That really, really hurts. How could she forget those times? How could she forget the weeks that I tended to her wounds after our first child, when she tore like a paper towel? How could she not see my obvious respect for women and especially her, due to what she went through during childbirth? This is a difficult night for me. Tonight, I found out that my W has been chilling with another man. What makes it really difficult is that it was my daughters who found out, through friends of friends. My daughter stood in tears, telling me, I feel her pain. I text my W, and apart from a feeble reply, she has not denied it. My D has vented her anger big style tonight, and W is not responding to any texts. I have told W what I think of her, and this is not anger. It is realization. She has burned her bridges as far as I am concerned. She can rot in hell. She has put me and my kids through hell, and I will never forgive her for that. The door is now closed. I do not want to set eyes on her again. My focus, from this point forward, will be my kids and me. I will be filing for divorce, and I will be fighting for full custody of my S if I need to. The guy she has been with has just separated from his W because he can't keep it in his pants. He is the local sleazeball. I wonder if he made my W feel special. I thought I had prepared myself for this outcome, but I was wrong. I can't stop the tears. I am hiding from the kids. I am gutted that she could do this to me. My D texts her, saying that she has betrayed the most important people in her life. How could she do that? She told W that she was finished with her. She would never see her again. She hated her for what she had done. She called her filth. She said she had betrayed the best man my W could ever hope for. I had to walk away at that point. Being caught between my love for my D and my loathing of my W is not easy. I can't argue with my D. I feel exactly the same. She has cheated on me. I can live with that. She has cheated on her kids. I can't live with that. I don't want her poisonous ways having any influence on my kids. All day she has been denying it. Although she didn't deny it last night. She just asked what was going on and who was saying that. I suppose they all say that. If this turns out to be true, which I believe it is, then I am finished with her. If she can't prove otherwise, then as far as I am concerned it is true. I don't know how she can prove otherwise, but that's not my problem. Her biggest issue, though, is that her Ds don't believe her either, and they have told her that unless she tells the truth, then she will not see them again. She texts me asking how she can fix it with Ds. I told her that was her problem, not mine. I told her that she had broken the trust of her whole family, and whilst that may be okay to do that with me, it's not okay with her kids. You got yourself into this mess, you get yourself out. She hasn't texted back. She doesn't like the truth. I was in the kitchen making dinner and both daughters were there. They told me that they wanted me to find someone else, someone who would appreciate me. I am a bit confused about this. I thought they would want mom and dad together regardless. Is this anger, or do they really see things for what they are? No hope. My D's don't recognize my W anymore. They think she is someone different. They don't like what they see. I asked my S when he last received a text from his mom and he can't remember. What a cold-hearted bee she is. There are people who can't have children, who would make much better mothers than this woman. Life is not fair. Now I don't know what to think. My W is denying everything and there's a new twist in her favor. My D's boyfriend has told me that the source of the rumor is very unreliable and is a known gossip. He also said that these sorts of rumors are typical of where we live. He told me that a few weeks ago, the same man was rumored to be having it away with the local barmaid. He said that was extremely unlikely as she is young and good-looking and he is the village sleazeball. My D now wishes she hadn't mentioned it as it may not be true. For my D's sake, I am now telling them to take the rumor with a pinch of salt and give mom the benefit of the doubt. I have no other choice. This is a roller coaster and I want off. My head is a mess. Is it true? Is it not? I honestly don't know. Trying to get myself back on track today as the last few days have derailed me a little bit. If she didn't sleep with this guy, then she will do it with someone soon. I just don't trust her. I need to get the focus back on me and the kids. For those who have followed my thread, this is the week that I was supposed to do the renovation on the living room. Woke up to 4 inches of snow on Saturday morning, which hampered getting rid of rubbish and picking up materials, and then I get the bombshell on Saturday night. Anyway, I got back on with it today and made some good progress. Nearly done the plastering and got the skirting and door surrounds off. T18 is giving me encouragement that while your plastering nearly looks flat, Dad. My W text today saying that I was putting ideas in my D's head and that it wasn't helping. She got both barrels. I said quite a bit, which included, I don't need to put ideas in my D's head to destroy your relationship with them. You are doing a good job of it on your own. Why have you not texted your S in days? I told him today that you were struggling to keep your phone topped up and you were looking for a new price plan, and this was not the first time I have lied to protect the kids. Don't you dare cast aspersions my way. I am 10 times the parent you are. She didn't answer, but she did text S. Because of the events on Saturday night, I didn't get an opportunity to update on my W using my phone and computer for her beauty salon nonsense. I sent her a text saying that she was not to come into the house again as she was treating me with contempt. You left me after stating you wanted another man who would make you feel special, and then you come into my home and make inquiries to a beauty salon and you weren't even discreet about it. She texts back saying that she was sorry and wouldn't do it again and that she never said she was looking for another man. I text her saying she was not to go in the house again. Feeling better tonight. Went to S's concert today. It was really good. Cinderella Rockefeller. For a small school, they have some very talented pupils. I realized how much my S is just a small version of me, although he has a lot more hair. My D, 18, who has helped so much lately, won $100 in the raffle. Karma. She said to me, I didn't buy the ticket, you did, so you can put it towards the living room renovation. I told her not to be silly. I bought the ticket for you, so it's yours. She gave her brother $20. What a fantastic young woman she is. The thing that has pleased me most today was my W. She came to the house after going to the evening show and asked to see D. I don't know all that was said, but W was crying and wanted to make peace with D. She promised my D that the rumors were not true and she hasn't been with any man. I think that watching my S at his concert has tugged a few heartstrings. I told my W earlier in a text that she needs to accept our D's anger, as it is to be expected. She needs to accept that she has caused hurt and that it's her responsibility to repair the damage. I desperately want them to make up, but it needs to be W driving that, and tonight she took an important step. We listened to my request and knocked on the door tonight. At this point, I can barely look at her. I don't want anything to do with her. Well, to add to my woes, I was sent for an X-ray today after suffering from a cough for the last 8 weeks. After examination and explaining my symptoms, the doctor told me to go to the hospital. We have walk-in X-ray facilities in our hospitals. I was okay with this until I read the letter that I took. It said check for lesions. I know what these can be. After leaving the hospital, I thought about my kids and I broke down. I sat and cried in my car for a few minutes. There was an element of self-pity in there as well. I could barely speak to my D when I got home. I broke my 180 and spoke to my W. She told me to stay calm and that these sorts of tests are precautionary. She is probably correct. At this point, I don't give a crap about my 180 or whether my W sleeps with another man. I want my kids to have a dad. I hope that I am overreacting at this point, but the thought of my kids suffering more just breaks my heart. Maybe what I am going through is exaggerating my feelings. My W leaving me has been firmly put into perspective. I won't get the results until next week. Am I being tested? Have I been bad in a past life? I don't know, but even though I am a strong person, I feel I am getting close to my limit. Stop the life roller coaster. I want off. Over the next few days, I am going to endure the biggest test I have ever faced. My kids want the living room done for Christmas. At this point, I am failing them. I can't focus on the task. I am being consumed by other events. If there is a God out there, can you please give me the strength to do what needs to be done? I do not want to fail my kids. All you God-fearing people, can you please say a prayer for me? I desperately need it just now. This is, without doubt, the worst I have ever felt in my life. I forgot that I also spoke to W today. It was a very amicable conversation. I told her how well I was doing on my own. Everything I said to her about my situation post-separation was pretty much all positive. She, on the other hand, is not sleeping at night. If she is to survive the separation, then I think she will need to find someone else soon. Single life does not appear to be suiting her. W texted this morning asking if I was okay. I told her I was slightly better. I watched my S writing out Christmas cards tonight. I had to leave the room, as I broke down. I am such a chicken heart when it comes to them. At this point, I am failing them and I need to get my act together. W has texted a couple of times today about kid stuff and my current situation. In one text, she stated that crap happens and that she knows I am strong enough to deal with it. She then goes on to say that I have managed to get rid of one crappy thing in my life, her. Why is she saying that? Does she realize that she is a big part of the problem? I don't know, I just want to get through next week with a positive outcome. At this point, I don't care about anything except my kids. I wish this damned cough would go away. It's a constant reminder. My chest is hurting because of it. If I take anything to soothe it, it just gives me heartburn. Did a bit more DIY today. Best day since Wednesday. My W is being very supportive. She's texting me every day, asking if I am okay. I told my W that my mom was moving back to where she came from in January. She texts back, that's another thing I've messed up. She is concerned about how my mom will cope. She also told me to be positive and not worry about things that haven't happened. She said that she had spent 22 years doing that. Remember jealousy issues? Is my W starting to get a conscience? Is she realizing that she played a big part in our marriage breakdown? I don't know, but she is definitely different. At no point have I mentioned any reconciliation or anything remotely close to it. I have told her that I look forward to having a future with my kids. Not much happening today. Managed to do 2/3 of the new floor in the living room. Should finish it tomorrow. Looking much better already. W text tonight asking if I was okay. One of the tragedies of this whole mess is that my mom misses my W. They used to go out every Saturday. My W provided my mom with a lot of support after my dad died and she needed it. Of course, she also provided me with a lot of support. When I think back to what my W actually did for my mom and dad during my dad's illness, perhaps I wasn't as appreciative as I should have been. In all honesty, she was a rock. It was my W that forced my dad to go into hospital towards the end as my mom was just out on her feet. Not many people stand up to my dad. It was fortunate that she did. My dad died a couple of days later and required medical intervention that would have been too late had he been at home. My mom asked me the other night if there were any signs of problems in the romantic department, which should have indicated a problem. I told her that if our marriage had been judged solely on that area, then our marriage had improved exponentially throughout its time. She couldn't understand this. I told her that I couldn't either. I obviously didn't go into detail, but our bonding life up to the end was really good. Much better than it had been in the earlier years. Much better. Go figure. My W went to see my mom today. What I expected to be an hour get-together ended up 2.5 hours. They cuddled at the end. I told my mom last night that I have said all I am going to say to my W about our separation. I told her that if my W found another man and they wanted to keep up their relationship, then that was okay with me. My mom thought that she would be betraying me. I told her that was nonsense. Life is too short for silly arguments. I just want to have the chance to move forward with kids. Haven't had the results of my X-ray yet. I do not think my W has been given good advice from her mother. My W needs to experience life without me. I have made things too easy. I have accepted behaviors that I shouldn't have. It may take my W to move on with her life, meet someone else and deal with her issues, to become the person she wants to be. I doubt very much that I will be around for her. I am enjoying my family life with my kids. I got my X-ray results back today. They were normal. Good news there, but still need to get to the bottom of my problem. I am going to break away from relationship talk and mention someone who has been a great help to me. I will call him BB. Has had his own problems in the past. He has had to endure battles with alcohol, battles with his marriage, and lately, battles with smoking. He hasn't had an easy time, but he has achieved much more than he realizes. Why do I mention B? Well, I mention B because here was a man who didn't know me, a man who has and still is, facing his own demons. The only thing we had in common was an interest in the football team we supported. That football team is Celtic. The night my W left me, I posted on my favorite Celtic blog about my predicament, and I was inundated with messages of support. I had people sending me their email addresses because they had suffered similar, or just because they wanted to help. He was one of them. He was extremely open about his own battles and offered support to me based on his own experiences. His support has been magnificent. When I went to the doctor's last week, I emailed B. He immediately sent me his mobile no, which I duly called. B chatted with me for a while and gave me an outlet for my worry and some practical advice. After texting my W this morning about my results, I text B next. That will tell you what I think of B. My W is coming for Christmas Day. My W raised the subject again after meeting with my mom. I said I was okay with it, as long as we treated my S with caution. I think we can do that. You may be wondering why I would allow this. Well, to be honest, life is too short and the kids are all in favor of this. I have accepted my W's position and there will be no attempt to impress my W. I am quite happy as I am. I will do what I normally do on Christmas Day, spend most of my time in the kitchen. I always cook Christmas dinner. My mum is going to my brother's, but I will have my S, both of my D's and my eldest D's boyfriend and my W to cook for. This may be a mistake, but I will live with it. Well, Christmas Day was a disappointment. Why? Because I was ill. For a few days prior to Christmas, I was feeling ill and losing my appetite. On Christmas morning, I could not even think of food, never mind look at it or cook it. My W therefore took over the duties. Not what I wanted, but at the time, I couldn't care less. My W arrived at 10 a.m. for the opening of the presents. She noticed I was not well and asked if I wanted her to cook. I had no choice. After a couple of hours of dry vomiting, remember, little food for 2 days, I retired to my bed for a couple of hours. I could not sleep though. When I got up, dinner was nearly ready. I had a small side plate of food, which I could barely get down, although I felt slightly better than I had in the morning. This was not what I had wanted for Christmas Day, but I tried to make the most of it. We all sat and watched a movie in the afternoon after dinner. It was very relaxed. My W was very complimentary on the work I had done to the living room, and I mean, very complimentary. In the past she would have found fault. I assured her the effort was for the kids. She did not leave straight after the movie. In fact, she asked me when I wanted her to leave. I told her to leave when she felt she had satisfied herself that Christmas Day had been a success for the kids. She stayed another hour. She texted me later, saying that she had forgotten a small present for our S. It was sweets. I told her that there was ample to keep our S going and not to worry about it. She then texted that she hoped we had enjoyed the day. I said that we had accepted me because I was ill. There have been no texts today. As far as I am concerned, it is business as usual. This was a one-off. There will be no more. If she thinks she can have her cake and eat it, she has another thing coming. Part 3 coming today as well. Let me see if I can squeeze the ending in it or not. Hope you guys learned something from these stories and become